Hey, Boozeketeers, welcome to Tuesday night. But not just Tuesday night. Welcome to Cocktales with Tiki King. We're back. Yes, we are. Yes, we're back. It's been a long time gone. I'm telling you. It's been at least 3 weeks, sort of. I mean, I don't know, maybe you tuned in last week for the Wicked Tinkers concert. And afterwards we had what can only be described as a debacle, which was mostly me completely trashed, rambling on about nonsense. So it was kind of like the show, basically. It's kind of like just the show, but we didn't make any drinks. We just drank a lot of drinks. We had a lot of fun playing with the pencils and filling out the forms, and had a great time watching the show with you guys. I don't know if you guys, I don't know how many of you were watching the Wicked Tinkers concert on St. Patrick's Day, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah, so here we are. We're back. Like I said, it's been 3 weeks. This is episode, I don't know, 107, 108, something like that, somewhere around there. The last official show we did was from Trader Sam's down in Disneyland, which sadly no Trader Sam's for who knows how long, because everything's shut down and gone. Everything's all torn apart and messed up. But I'll tell you. Today I was here at home because I'm doing my duty as an American by staying home and voting in my head. No, actually, so one of the things, I don't know, you probably don't see, but we're getting the Wicked Wench back together. Things are getting built, things are getting fixed, and we're getting closer every day, getting stuff together, which is fun. But something that happened was I started thinking about what I should do for the show whilst I was working, and I worked right through lunch, and I realized I started thinking about lunch, right? That's why, which I said today, I'm having lunch for dinner. I started thinking about the 3 martini lunch, the concept, the 3 martini lunch, which any of you who've maybe been an executive have possibly experienced the 3 martini lunch, which I have, and I had a good time doing it. So, but there's something, it made me think, we've done the show about martinis before. I made the perfect martini, the Tiki King perfect martini, which is to me, maybe not to you, I don't know what you like. I don't know your life. So I started thinking, 3 martini lunch, why don't I make 3 martinis? And I'm going to talk about them and the reasons for those sort of things. Now, why don't we just get started? We're going to start with the blasphemous martini. We're going to start with the vodka martini. And remember, it is a vodka martini. It's not a martini. It is a vodka martini. Anywhere you go, you order a martini and they say, vodka? You might want to go to a different place where they just give you a real martini when you order a martini. But you know what? There is a reason for the vodka martini. Aside from some people just don't like gin. But there's something else. So let's get started here, shall we? Here we are, handy shaker. Nice in there. We're going to get some vodka. Where's my handy measure ring? I'm going to put in 1.5 ounces of standard vodka. Bang, bang. We're putting in a dash of dry vermouth. Yeah, I know some of you say, why, Tiki King, you're supposed to just wave the bottle. You're supposed to whisper vermouth. No. You can do that, but basically what you're drinking then is vodka rocks. If you want a vodka martini, it's got to have dry vermouth. Now you don't have a lot, because it can, especially with the vodka martini, the vermouth can overpower, so you want to be very careful. I'm putting in a little less than 1/4 of an ounce. Now, shaken, not stirred. So we got our vodka in there. We got our vermouth. we have 2 green olives, standard fare. Some people like to garnish theirs with a twist of lemon. You can do that. Why not? I just happen to I like green olives. And you know, having a martini with the green olives, it's the way it is for me. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a, you know, it's a vodka martini, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know what you're thinking. You say, Tiki King, you're drinking the vodka martini. Other than educating us, why would you do that? Now here's the thing. We talked about the 3 martini lunch. And here's the thing. If you're out having a 3 martini lunch, possibly you have to go back to work, right? If you're chugging down 3 double gin martinis, or 3 double martinis, sorry, but made the right way with gin, when you come back, everyone's going to know. They're going to say, man, you smell like a juniper bush. But if you're doing a 3 martini lunch and you go vodka, vodka's the no-tell liquor, man. It's the booze that helps you snooze. No, it is, if you're going to be tippling on the job, as I'm not, you know, yes, I am advocating it, never mind. But if you're someone who wants to go out and, say you have a little cocktail at lunchtime, or 3 cocktails at lunchtime, or maybe 4 rum and cokes for breakfast, I don't judge you. I just miss you. I should be there. But when it comes to coming back from work and not getting fired, that is where the vodka martini is the hammer that you need for the particular nail that is your sober brain. Because with the vodka martini, when you come back, all you're going to smell like is olives and a burger or whatever it is that you happen to bring back with you to make it look like you actually had lunch. And, like I said, you go with a twist of lemon, it's going to give you a little fresh breath. Nobody's going to know. Except your boss if he went with you, which, you know, if that's the case, you're all right anyway. So, vodka martini, it has its uses, and also there are some people, like I said, some people, they just don't dig on the gin. I happen to like gin, you know, so. But, yeah, it's funny because they don't do it so much anymore, but some of the old bar guides, which I didn't really do a whole lot of research because I was busy, but there's a lot of them actually have, it's like, you know, hints for boozing it up on the job. You know, it's like bartender guides. And one of them that always cracked me up was they said, you know, did you wonder why in the 60s things like Aqua Velva and High Karate were like so popular even though they just stunk? Well, you know why? Because you put that stuff on, you can pretty much drink a distillery and everybody's going to be like, whoa, you smell like aftershave. And especially Aqua Velva. I don't know how long it's been since you smelled Aqua Velva, but it pretty much just smells like a martini. So, anyway, I digress. But boozing it up on the job it's a long, long tradition. As long as you don't get fired. So, now, there we go, the vodka martini. It's a tool for your toolbox, for your boozing toolbox. We're going to put that over there. We'll give it to Captain Booze Nanas. Do you like a martini good? Good martini from time to time? He does. He usually likes rum drinks, but yeah, sorry, there's none left. I had to drink it. Now, I'm going to switch over, so I'm going to use those. Get me a fresh shaker. A fresh shaker. Now, next thing we're going to go with is it's a martini, but it's sort of a variant. There's a lot of martini variants, but in my house, if it's a martini, it has gin and vermouth. If it's a vodka martini, vodka and vermouth. So it's got to have the booze and the vermouth. I've heard of rum martinis and I actually had one, and I would have to say I didn't like it. It was not as pleasant as you would imagine. And if you're imagining it wasn't pleasant, well, that's just how it is. So, this particular drink. We're going with 2 ounces of gin. I'm using Bombay Sapphire because that's my jam, baby. You know what I mean? Bombay Sapphire. We're not going to do nothing fancy here. We're starting out. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're like, but Tiki King, you're just making a martini. Well, there we go. My ratio, 8 to 1. 8 to 1. 2 ounces of Bombay Sapphire, 1/4 ounce Nolly Pratt. So here's another thing. Here's something. We'll talk about that later. You can hang on to that one. Keep that question in mind. Did you guys miss me? Did you? Did you throw anything? Okay. So now we have a martini. This is standard, no frills right there. Gin, vermouth. But wait, what am I going to garnish with? Well, now here's the thing. If you talk to my old pal Boozeketeer Turk, he's going to tell you, Tiki King, I like a good martini, but I don't like green olives. Well, to the rescue comes the Gibson. The Gibson utilizes pickled onions. Now you've probably been in the supermarket and you've seen those up there. Pickled onions, you're like, pickled onions, what do you do with those? Well, aside from turning a martini into a Gibson, pickled onions are good for Bloody Marys and good for just noshing in general. You like have a slice of salami, pickled onion, back and forth. Yeah, make your own drumbeat like that. No, but Boozeketeer Turk, he enjoys the Gibson because he doesn't like the green olives. And funny thing is, now this is how you'll find it in the recipe books. The Gibson is a martini with the pickled onions. But from what I understand, see, research. This is where research comes in handy. And if any of you Boozeketeers happen to know, you can shout it out. But one of our presidents at one time actually didn't drink. But at the time it was in vogue, you had to drink. I mean, you had to drink. The cocktail parties, people wander around. They get, it's like, if you didn't have a drink, people were like, what's wrong? Something wrong? Is there something wrong? What's that? Are we dying? What's the deal? Because you were like, well, I don't want to drink. And they're like, what do you mean you don't want to drink? How could this be? Something's wrong. Call the hospital. So rather than set off alarms, rather than get all crazy, he basically was drinking, from what I understand, ice water, but to designate that it wasn't a standard martini, had him garnish it with pickled onions. So you'd know for sure that was his drink. Now here's the thing. People said, whoa, what is that you're drinking? And you can't say, well, ice water with a pickled onion because I don't want to look, I don't want everybody getting all weird on me. He said, it's a Gibson. And he said, Gibson, what's that? He said, well, a Gibson is a martini with pickled onions. And then all of a sudden that became all in vogue. And then pretty soon it's like you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a Gibson. And then there's like a Gibson girl, there's like all this Gibson. And then what do you do? Then you're like, I want the thing. And nope, everybody's drinking them. So this is the Gibson. Like I said, favorite highfalutin cocktail of the Turk. And I have to say, I enjoy the pickled onion, so, Oh, that's wonderful. I like martinis. I do. I dig them. Because there's something, now it could be because when I was a kid, we had a juniper bush behind our house. And I used to hide out back there, because I had toys back there and whatnot. But the taste of gin, the smell of juniper, takes me right back. Hiding out in the juniper bush. The only thing, now here's word of warning. I know that there's some of you, probably Boozeketeer West, is going, oh, I should build a fort out of juniper bushes and we could drink martinis in there. That'd be awesome. But here's the problem: is that you can do that. But I also found that orb weaver spiders and juniper berries look a lot the same, and for some reason like to hang out together. So you can, but you have to be prepared to share your martini with the orb weaver spiders. Which, if they didn't do that, they do that. I don't know how many of you are hep to the orb. I know Boozeketeer Turk is, because he's got them all over his house. But they make these huge ornate, like exactly spiderwebby webs, and they hang out in the middle. And if they sense anything, they start vibrating, and the whole thing is like goes all crazy. Yeah, Bond said, the cat's down here watching me. He's like, well, what is that? With the craziness with the movie, got his attention. But I don't know. Maybe we should plant some juniper bushes, make a fort. We can invite Boozeketeer West over. It'll be good. We'll just have to make sure we have plenty of pickled onions, and Boozeketeer Turk can come over. Of course, I don't know if he can really crawl around in the juniper bushes. He's a big guy. So, sometimes. Something. All right. Well, we're midway through lunch right now. We had ourselves a vodka martini. Wasn't bad. In a pinch, it'll pinch it. We had the Gibson. Actually, I gotta say, I might even try making a martini at some point. And because the one we're going to move on to next, you guys, you can wait. You guys can wait. While you're waiting, I should remind you, as Boozeketeers, you have special rights and privileges that not everyone else does. You have privileges. Is there a euphemism for that? You got stuff and things. Mm-hmm. If you, I talked about this once before, but if you go to the tikiking.com booze, not the, you don't put the www, not the. Go to tikiking.com/booze. You can go to all the different boozy things, but one of them you can go to the cocktail. You can go to the cocktail database and virtual bartender, where it'll tell you how to make all kinds of fancy drinks. But one of the things that's on there is, if you look in the lower left-hand corner, there is a Boozeketeer symbol, which is our iconic red spiral with the skull with the martini ears. And if you click on that, that will lead you to a special place. Yes, a juniper fort, a virtual juniper fort of goodness. That'll take you to a place where you can look at all the different recipes for drinks that I have made on the show. I haven't done these ones yet because this show just is happening. It's happening right now, but 4 seconds from now, for me. You guys are in the, see, that's the thing is, you guys, I'm in the future. I'm coming to you, I didn't want to say this, Boozeketeers, but I'm coming to you from 4 seconds in the future. That's right. Anything I say is subject to a 4-second delay. And if the sun explodes, I'll know first. Well, I think it's 12 years ago. The sun explodes. It'll be 12 years before I'll know. But then I'll know 4 seconds before you guys. Actually, I guess we'd all know in real time, huh? But I'd still be talking for 4 seconds after the sun exploded, which is kind of cool, I have to say. So moving right along, moving right along. Did you guys check out tikiking.net? Sorry, I can't remember. I've got a bunch of websites now. Tikiking.net, where you can buy all kinds of cool stuff and look at all sorts of cool, fun art and all. I have to say that carefully. Fun art. Yeah, you go there and you can look at the stuff that I've made, all kinds of art, neat stuff, and I'm putting up a bunch of new necklaces in the coming week. There's a bunch of carvings up there right now, but that's currently how I keep the bar stocked. So there's a couple ways you can help me, help you, help me. which is to either go buy stuff or just drop a few bucks in the virtual tip jar, which you can find at tikiking.com/booze. And it's also on in the virtual bartender / cocktail database. But we always appreciate it. Tips for the tipsy. Yes. So moving right along. Now I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Tiki King, you've had 2 very fine martinis. How can you top that? Top that. Ooh, top that. He's red. I don't know the song. Do you know that song? Top Cat. Remember that cartoon?
Top Cat.
Yeah. Ooh, Top Cat. Well, I'll tell you how we can round things out with a fresh glass, he said. This one already had the same ingredients, so I'm not going to worry about cleaning it out. But I'm going to add some more ice. Give it into your bucket. Below. Where the dead men go. All right, so you're saying Tiki King. Now you just made 5 martinis. And I understand, pickled onions, green olives, personal taste and whatnot, but tell me, what sort of secrets can you impart upon us? Well, I can tell you how to make the Tiki King perfect martini. It's only perfect in my opinion, and maybe yours if you try it. Hard to say. But we're gonna need a few things that we already have. First of all, Bombay Sapphire Gin. Now, oh Jesus, it's like it's opening on its own. It's so excited. It is so excited about the martini. Bombay Sapphire Gin. There's probably, I don't know, 1,000 gins? I don't know, there's a lot of gins out there. There's a lot of gins, and they all have their own properties. They all have their own nuances and personalities. Bombay Sapphire I was introduced to in 1995 or 96, somewhere around there. And there's a couple of things that I liked about it. One is it was not heavy on the anise, which is the licoricey taste you'll find in some gin. Tanqueray, if you like licorice, Tanqueray is the one to go with because it has a lot of anise. But Bombay Sapphire, a couple of things about it. One, it definitely has present botanicals, and you can taste them all in there. There's a bunch of stuff. But the other is that it's 95 proof. So, you can definitely make a fine Gordon's martini, but that's 80 proof. We got 14 more where they came from, right here in the Bombay Sapphire. And it's like I said, there's a whole bunch of different gins out there, and probably a bunch of different gourmet ones. If anyone wants to send me a present, send me some St. James. I think it's St. James number 3, because I want to try it. But Bombay Sapphire, this is my go-to gin because there's a couple of reasons. Like I said, 94 proof for one. 2, the botanicals are present without being overwhelming. 3, it's just tasty. And it says right on it, hand-selected botanicals. Some guy went out, picked them one by one, thinking about you, envisioning your face and pining away. Yeah, it's true. So, the Tiki King Perfect Martini. Let's find out what goes into that, shall we? Well, because I happen to know in my own noggin, we're going to start with 2 ounces of Bombay Sapphire Gin. Now, there's the Bombay Sapphire East, and there's the Rang Par Lime, both of which are fine gins, but it just depends on what you like, I guess. The Rang Par Lime is actually really good for gin and tonics, but we're gonna homage it here because this was the recipe that I back when I had the 821, which was my lounge. It was also called the Eternal Twilight, but the 821 came from my martini recipe, which is 8 parts gin to 1 part vermouth. Yeah, sneaky, huh? Back in the old days, back in the day, back when you would have the 3 martini lunch and no one would look at you sideways. A lot of bars, and they're out there in different places, but a lot of bars just had numbers. It was weird. I used to hang out at a place called the 500 Club when I lived in San Francisco. And so when I opened my bar, in my basement. It was the 821, because that's my martini ratio. All right. So we got the Bombay Sapphire, we got the gin, we got the vermouth, and here's the other part. Here's the thing. Remember I said, wait, I'll tell you about it. Nolly Pratt. Now, vermouth can make or break a martini. You know, you get what you can get, but there is definitely working man's vermouth, and there is really good vermouth. And in my opinion, the Nolly Pratt is one of the best vermouths on the market because, once again, it complements the Bombay Sapphire in that it's also, you know, if you don't know about dry vermouth, it's basically white wine with a bunch of botanicals in it. And this one, same thing. The botanicals are present without being overwhelming. All right, so we got our gin, we got our vermouth. Now, what we're going to do is rinse the glass with some Cointreau. And the way you do that is you just put a little bit in there. And you swirl it around to coat the glass. I'm going to dump the excess in here. It's not very much. So basically, you're just coating the inside of the glass with a light coating of the Cointreau, which is a lemon or an orange peel liqueur. All right, let's put those, thems, these right in here. Wish I could watch this in slow motion. All right, now the coup de grace. What's something else? So for this particular one, we're going to garnish it with 3 vermouth brined, spicy smoked olives, which have been rinsed with lemon juice. Look at that, right in there. Oh, I don't. It's like Christmas. I'm like, I don't want to unwrap it and drink it, but the anticipation. We used to drink a lot of these in 821. Well, I did, but nothing could be finer. Oh, sweet, sweet booze. Oh, that's good. That I could come home to that. I could go out for that. I could take lunch and then come home and drink that. Yeah, that's why. So there you go, Boozeketeers. The 3 martini challenge. Now, something. I had an idea, but it went away. It's soaked into the martini. The martinis have now absorbed all of the thoughts. That happens. This is theoretically, you know, I believe it's the Japanese who had the saying that they said that first the man drinks the drink, then the drink drinks the drink, then the drink drinks the man. So I'm on the drink drinks the man section of this here show. That's okay, because you're all here with me, and you're my friends, not like the others. Oh, I'll tell you, I've often thought about a lot of weird stuff. But aside from that, I thought, what if you basically, because you can get commercially, you can get vermouth brined olives. Or you can go with what I usually do, which is I just get regular, I used to get Reese Cannonballs, but they're hard to find. If you can't find Reese Cannonballs, get yourself a bottle of Mazzettas. If they don't have vermouth brined, you can just dump out like a third of the pickling solution and put in some vermouth. But now I'm thinking, what if as a snack, right? What if you just dumped out half the brine and put in vermouth and gin and just made martini flavored olives? I could be a thing. It could. It could be. That could be the cog that skips a gear and throws the whole world into pandemonium, but with real pandas. Yeah. I didn't put up any spoilers. For those of you who like to drink along at home, but 3 martini challenge. Why not? Which reminded me. I don't know. I should probably have like a list back here. Shut up! You already told that story, and like with like a list, like things. One time when we were me and Boozeketeer CJ in Kelso, Washington. I earned the order of the double swords, which I got by scamming 2 martinis off the bartender. Didn't pay for them. And if you can do that, you can do the order of the double martini. I say go for it. You should try it. You should do it. Wait, I was attempting an intense stare. I probably just look crazy. And so Boozeketeers, so what are you guys doing, man? Jeez, everybody's like quarantined. So basically, my day consists of watching The Walking Dead until like 5 in the morning, and then getting up, drinking coffee later, and then boozing it up. But I realize not everybody can do that. So what are you guys doing to pass the time? What are you guys doing when you're quarantined? You're like stuck in the house. I hate to advise not drinking at any given time, but this really has been an exciting time to sort of catch up on projects. I actually made a new necklace, carved a new necklace and cast it, made molds and cast. I'm working on some new art projects. Getting drunk. And it's last week, I got really drunk and like, oh, I love you guys, and all that. That's true, but I'll say, harness your nervous energy, man. This is like the prime time to start doing stuff, because if you're working, awesome, keep doing so, keep safe. But if you can keep on going out and making your paycheck, good on you. If you can't, it's easy to slip into a booze stupor, which I can't say I don't advise. But I will say, now's the time. Catch up on stuff, man. Do a drawing, do a painting, do a sculpture, do some carving, do some stuff, do some things. Your brain will thank you, because you can sit around waiting for Tuesday like I do, or you can, do some fun things. I'm sad to say, it's killing us. It's breaking my heart, man. We're Wicketinker's gigs are now canceled out to May. It's like we're not even through. This is when the season starts for us, and it's already gone all the way down the line. But I've decided that I'm just going to keep on doing the things that I do, and hopefully you guys will too. If you can't go to work, if you can't see your friends, if you can't do things, well, we'll figure out ways to get together, like tonight, like right here, right now. All of you guys, all you Boozeketeers, social distancing. Well, we're all hundreds of miles apart. But I'm assuming there are people online watching. If not, then I just had 3 martinis with myself, and it's like my regular lunchtime. But oh my God, things are spent. See, you see what happens? Do you see what happens? If I get too serious about things, there's mayhem.
Yeah, stop that.
No, but tonight there was actually a point at which I was like, maybe I shouldn't do the show. I don't know. It's easy to slip into this sort of weird apathy. But then I remembered that there's a few of you out there who for some reason enjoy hearing me ramble on. And I know there's at least one of me who enjoys rambling on to you guys. So it all works out. But I'm going to have to say, I'm towards the end. I'm almost at the end here. Almost at the end. I remember the first, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a secret. Are we done? No. Well, never mind. I'm not going to give you a secret then. All right.
How fast is it?
It's a short one.
Okay.
Yeah. The first martini I ever had was terrible.
Yeah, I'm okay. It didn't hit me.
The first martini I ever had was terrible. And I had it at a bar in San Francisco, and the guy made it with what is probably the actual standard original recipe, which is 2 parts gin, 1 part vermouth. But I persevered. And that's the thing, is that I had that one, and it was terrible, and I started working on it, and I adjusted it, and I changed things, and I went here and there, and I tried the dirty martini with a little bit of brine. I tried all sorts, and I finally found out that there is a ratio in which it all comes together. And that's how this is which, like I said, you know what, maybe you're home, maybe you're not, but there's a ratio in which it all comes together. And find that ratio, man. Find it, and press on. And until then, I'm going to say, I'm Tiki King, and this has been Cocktales with Tiki King, and happy Tuesday, good night, and good drinking.